And here's Wayne the cowboy. The cowboy and the father. Go, Wayne.
I thought he was talking about southern accents. I'm going to read a couple of poems from Oklahoma just to make Tom happy.
Do the cowboy stuff.
Right. Students ask me sometimes where I'm from. I have two answers. The short answer is California because everybody knows where that is. No explanation required. The long answer is Oklahoma. You have to explain. So what can you say about Oklahoma? Famous for oil wells, Indians. Never interested me very much. But now I have a better answer. Famous for outlaws. And I smile. Here's a little background of what is happening here. This is my father's voice. Conversation we had in 1990 when he was about 71 years old. We were out to imagine this rural landscape, country roads, section lines, one-room schoolhouse, where he used to go to school when he was a boy. He tells me the story. And the poem is called The Load. You see that light fixture up there? Used to be a little sign under that light bulb said Oak Grove, District Number 47, 1900. This was the village hub. Everybody and his brother used to come. I won't forget the first morning I walked up here. It was 1927. We'd moved to the Owens place. I was in the third and Melvin the fourth grade. Why my daddy didn't bring us the first day, I don't know. Little kids, snotty-nosed strangers. We got to school about 5 minutes late, and the class had done took up. We come up these steps, stood right here. We had our lunch, the mom had packed in a half-gallon bucket. Melvin, he wouldn't knock. I wouldn't either. He tried to make me knock or push the door and go in first. I wouldn't do it. Scared to death. I said, "You're older. You go first." Now, we spent 5 minutes out here, maybe more. And finally, we had to go in. So we opened the door a crack. And the teacher, Arthur Linton, was just starting class. He stopped everything right quick. Came back and met us. He asked our names. He introduced us to the kids, assigned our seats, and tried to make us feel at home. But we were still on down the road a piece when we heard that last bell ring. We come a-running, as hard as we could come. But we couldn't get here quick enough. Why my daddy didn't bring us, I don't know. We'd have been on time, and he could have introduced himself and us. For little shavers like us, that was a load. You can stand one more in the sentimental vein. This is a mules, right? Can't talk about country in the southern USA without talking about mules. A pair of them named Ben and Pete. Again, it's my father talking. Ben and Pete was big old mules. They didn't know themselves how stout they was. Pulling fools. We had them since they was colts. Broke them out. Didn't break old Pete till he was 5 years old, which was wrong. They left him sort of stubborn. But Ben, he was gentle as a schoolgirl. It was the spring. They was 16 years old. Both died together about a day apart. Stepped in quicksand and went down side by side. There in the pasture, in the wet season, above the terrace on the Owens place, sandy there, and it had been wet, real wet. They was coming down through there, one right behind the other. Ben went down. Pete tried to get around him, and down he went. Geographical note, you're about to hear the name of a creek. It's called Bell Cow. The farmers all fought quicksand on bell cow. After a rain, creek beds would turn to quicksand. Kids might be playing around the swimming hole, walk around and find it. You could feel it, paddle it with your foot, and start to jiggle. We used to get plumb down up to our knees in it. But a horse or a mule is heavy. He'd go right down. Old Pete drowned at Ben, rearing and heaving, trying to pull himself out of that sand. He fell back sideways over Ben, punched his head down in the mud. In a bad fix, you'd get the telephone and ring 5 longs. Anytime you heard 5 longs, you'd run and grab the phone. It'd be a house on fire, a kid hurt, or an animal down. That was the smoke alarm in them days. And we had all kinds of help, but we couldn't save him. Pete killed himself a straining and a heaving. He tore his sides up. He got a hold of a tree root there with his teeth, and he grunt and groaned and pulled. And with every pull, he just kept going deeper